we did a fleet test of 7 of their assorted vehicles. They drove approximately 7,000 miles each, and varying results depending on age, driver, loads, wind conditions, temperatures, all the givens that happened in the course of a month and a half of deployment or movement of the Marine Corps. We've one particular example, like or similar trucks, and actually they're sister trucks, they're side by side with identification numbers, took the identical loads, 54,000 pounds. These were very, very highly loaded trucks. They went a similar distance to the similar place with the identical loads, came back. One vehicle noted that it used 140 gallons in this run. The truck treated with D-1280X used only 80. Similar case, 2 other sister trucks, one treated was getting 2.2 miles per the gallon of diesel. After being treated, the sister truck got 4.4 miles per gallon. Showed positive results in lower capacity treated, increased gas mileage, and lowered emissions.
In one of the tests done by the United States Marine Corps, 6 trucks were treated with D-1280X in their fuel and also eco-oil blend in their crankcase. The drop in opacity was drastic to say the least. After an average of 200 miles, the trucks dropped opacity by 93%, 49%, 62%, 95%, 71%, and 90%, an average of 77% reduction in opacity. Fuel mileage increases were tabulated for these same trucks. One truck did break down in the middle of service, so its mileage could not be calculated, but it still had an opacity reduction of 95%. One truck lost mileage due to how dirty the actual internal engine components were, but that truck has since reduced its opacity by over 70% and is still in the test group with positive numbers. Mileage increases per truck were as follows: 13%, 45%, 69%, 57%, and minus 9%. The overall mileage increase for this test group is over 35%.
The second series of tests that we did was on their support fleet, which is generators, caterpillars, assorted different pieces of equipment that they take that not necessarily are warring equipment, but they are equipment that is used to support the troops in the field. We did several generators, which we lowered opacity. The generators, when they set up a base camp, they set a generator up and light the camp. Those generators showed a 60 to 70% reduction in opacity. The third test that we've done is actually in military deployment vehicles. We did an LCAC, which is basically a hovercraft that can carry a tank, and it has 4 jet engines, so they run on a fuel called JP5, which is a bit lower grade than diesel, but by the addition of the D-1280X, this fuel called JP5, you've seen it as Jet A sometimes, that fuel is brought up to the specifications of diesel number 2. So there's a specific relationship in terms of price. The lower the grade of fuel, the cheaper the fuel is. So if we can bring a cheaper fuel into an upper class rating, there's an automatic savings just in the cost of the fuel. We treated those, and they've seen a significant increase in the revolutions on the engines, a more stabilized temperature. There's quite a few indicators that are a little bit different than a car. The more efficient the fuel is, the more efficient the engine is, and obviously the emissions that it emits are much lower. Krishna